completely true.
Okay, ready?
Ready.
Okay, let's roll. Hi, Carlos.
Hi, Yasa. It's great to see you.
So good to see you. Hello, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Yasa. I'm a violinist from St. Petersburg, Russia. And almost 10 years ago, I moved to United States. In this pandemic, I started this channel to bring more awareness about different countries, different cultures. So we're more accepting and embracing, and we're all in this big brotherly hug here in this pandemic time. And today I have a special pleasure to introduce you to my wonderful friend who I haven't seen for years now because, you know, we did our bachelor's together, but Carlos came back to Mexico, where he's from, and he works in Jalapa, in Jalapa Philharmonic, and we'll ask more about that and everything about his country and his impressions of America. But first of all, Carlos, how are you doing?
Very well, yes, thank you. Very, very well.
It's wonderful to have you on this channel. Thank you so much for agreeing to tell us more about Mexico.
It's my pleasure, Yasa.
Carlos, tell us what's going on in Mexico with COVID. How are you guys dealing with the whole situation? Can you go openly in public? Do you wear masks? What's going on?
Well, we're taking care of it. Right now, where I work, I mean, you mentioned the Jalapa, is actually Jalapa Symphony or Orquesta Sinfónica de Jalapa. It's the orchestra I work at. And we shut down for a while since late March up until August, and we've been only doing small concerts. Well, by small I mean small groups, only 10 people, 15. 20 at the most at a time on a big stage. Our concert hall is big, but everybody has their stand. Nobody shares the stand. We keep our distance, and we're taking it seriously.
Those performances, do you do them in masks?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, they have been done with masks, and only 25% of the public that you can feel in the hall can be there. Oh, so yeah, it's very restricted, you know. But it's the only way we can, you know, at least continue our activities, right? And I've been doing my orchestra. It's part of a university system. So I also teach at the university, School of Music, and at a government institute for music. And I've been having all my lessons online.
Oh, I didn't know that you teach, Carlos. How do you like teaching online?
No, I don't like it.
I actually enjoy it so much, Carlos. I hated it at the beginning because it's hard to tune the violin. You cannot really show them more personalized, how to press the string, right? How to dig into the strings. But now I love it. I love the convenience of it. Like, I don't have to dress up and drive to a certain place. Tell me, why do you not like it?
No, well, here in Mexico, some of my students went back to their communities, and in some of them the internet is not good at all. It's a telephone. It's not very modernized, so they have trouble. And sometimes I just tell them, you know, send me the videos, and I'll give you feedback, and we exchange videos back and forth and feedback. With some of them, that's the only way we can do it, you know, and hear the real sound they are producing, and you see their bow arm, if it's relaxed and everything, you know, that it's important, you know, to have.
For the sound production, I so agree, right? We need to really hear the.
Yeah, and in you know, with a phone, or you cannot really hear what's going on. You hear more of his room acoustics, and but it's hard. It's hard
to understand. Is the hand is a bit tight, right? Is he tense?
Exactly.
Does he need to put more pressure?
And you just have to sometimes demonstrate, relax here or here and do something.
Sometimes you need to give a massage, like my Russian teacher used to do it all the time. She would be like, relaxed, and she would just slap me on the back. Oh, just kidding. Massage mostly. But she would scream relax at me. So I would tense even more.
Yes.
When she screamed relax. Carlos, are you a kind teacher, or you find it that it's hard to be kind if students are not following your advice?
No, I'm actually, I think I'm kind in the sense that I don't, especially right now, I don't put them too much pressure, because I know it's been a very hard time. And, it's some of them, for example, have to work to live here in Jalapa, the capital of the state. And they come from certain communities, and they used to work in restaurants to survive, for example, as waitress, and now they don't have those jobs, and they're just trying to survive. It's having a really hard economic time, and emotional time,
Is everything?
Yes.
Forgive me for interruption, Carlos. Is everything open in Mexico, in Jalapa, restaurants, or is there a limit on what's working, what's not?
They closed them for a while, but after a while, they have been opening and trying to be more, have more space and be more accommodating in the restaurants, and more. People, have learned to take care of themselves. At first, people wouldn't want to use masks, for example. And now it's you pretty much see it all over the place. And
that's great.
Yeah. And,
the same here, Carlos. In Florida, we're such free spirits. We didn't want to wear masks.
Yeah,
remember,
exactly.
Right? Florida and the beach and the culture.
Yeah, of course. And you don't want to. It's weird to go to the beach and with a mask,
Right, we're very non-conformative.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that it's picking up. I'm glad that people started using common sense. Carlos, I'm so happy to see you. It's been years since we did our bachelor's together, and I need to tell people about you. You're a wonderful bass player, and you came back to do your bachelor's a bit later in life, right? You needed to...
Wait, it was a funny thing, because
tell us your story.
My story is that I had two diplomas. I had one first I went a long time ago to New England Conservatory, and I finished a 3-year program, a diploma program. And then the teacher there was also teaching at Yale. And he
Yale, right?
Yeah, not Yale. Like I used to pronounce it. Yeah, I went to Yale. What did you do? I used to audition. But it's still hard for me to say Yale.
You're doing great. It's just I'm learning Spanish, so I'm realizing how hard it is for you to say yeah instead of je.
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
You always call me Yasa, right? Yasita, and I know how hard it is to pronounce yeah. So I understand and applaud your effort. You're saying it perfectly now.
Yeah. So anyway, and then I did at Yale. It was another. First they accepted me as a master's student, but then they told me at the register, you don't have really a bachelor, but we can put you in performer certificate, which converts into a master's once you show them a bachelor. So that after many years, so I did that diploma also there. It was also a 3-year diploma, and then I came back to Jalapa, got my job, got married, had kids and everything. And after about 15 years in the orchestra, or 14, more or less. There was a job opportunity because I had met Tim Cobb, the bass teacher at Lynn, who also teaches at Juilliard and many schools. He's the principal bass of the New York Phil.
Did you just for a second forgot the name of our university?
Lynn University, of course.
Infamous. No, famous.
Yeah, no, very famous and very good school. And very
cool.
Yes, of course.
Very great.
But anyhow, I met him a year before. And he told me, I have a spot. Do you have some good students for? And I said, well, right now, not a very good student, but why not me?
Exactly.
Because I needed to do that, and the orchestra and the university here support me to do that because they like people to have their degrees. Since it's a university, I could earn my bachelor and a master's. They gave me a master's at Yale because that was the deal with them. And so it was good for them, good for everybody. They let me go. I was fortunate to get a scholarship from Lynn, and
yes, very.
It worked out. It didn't work out. I mean, it was hard because I had to come back and forth, and my family here, my wife, my 2 kids. But it was not that bad. It was actually very great experience because I made very good friends like yourself and many others, and some not many, a few others. But
we have to mention that Lynn University is a very special school for us, and we are so grateful, and we're always gonna keep saying that because they granted us certain musicians, they granted us full scholarship that gave us opportunity to do our degrees in a more comfortable manner, right? And we're so grateful for that opportunity and for those friends.
It's not that common. It's probably one of the best places. I mean, not only because of the best teachers, but financially. I don't know if it's still that way.
It's not.
That's what I hear.
Unfortunately, Carlos, yes, especially with pandemic, it's not anymore. It was already, the scholarships were almost cut down before the pandemic, but now with the present situation, it's much worse. I don't know if they will have scholarships anymore for musicians. So we did it at the right time. We're so lucky.
Yeah, we were lucky because they not only we didn't pay tuition, but they gave us a room and board, and food was great.
Remember at the beginning, it was probably getting there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I remember it would close at 6, and after those concerts on Sundays we would have to get sandwiches in advance and eat in our rooms, remember?
Oh yeah. But then they changed it, right?
But then they changed it. I think after you graduated they made it 24/7. So
no, I was there.
You still
my first year it was like they closed at 6 or something like that, and just specific times for breakfast, for lunch, and for and for dinner. But then they opened the 24 hours.
That was the best day of our lives, right? When they did that.
Yeah. We could go anytime.
So we could go any day. Carlos, what I remember with fondness, I don't drink, right? But for some reason I remember those bike rides that we took with you to Total Wine.
Yes.
to get some wine, and then we would have those evenings of listening to classical music with a glass of wine, discussing Schubert, Schumann, and Brahms, and the deepness of their symphonies and the intricate ideas that they had that influenced the world, and how they changed it and how they keep changing it up to now. It was so wonderful to have those evenings and those memories. I hope it's lifelong friendship Carlos. I just want to tell you that I treasure those memories.
No, I treasure them too, and I'm very fond of those really fun times. Yes.
Well, talking about education, Carlos, tell us a little bit about Mexico. You mentioned that right now it's mostly online, but in general, do you have the same system as America with preschool, elementary, and so on, and then bachelor's and master's? How is it differ, and do you guys have it for free?
Yeah, well, actually, yeah, there's a public school system which is free or very, very low cost, and up right now until even there's few spots for masters and doctorates, but there are good schools like UNAM in Mexico, or here in Veracruz in the state Universidad Veracruzana where I work, where the orchestra is part of the system. And in our area, I think it differs a little bit because, for example, here in Mexico, some universities, the big ones, have orchestras, professional orchestras that belong to the university system, because they think, well, one side of education is to educate the students, and the other is to promote or diffuse art and culture, and that's the part that we cover as a professional orchestra here. And so it's different, because in the States they don't have that. Universities don't have professional orchestras, not even public ones. That's like I think once you go out of school, you find a job in an orchestra or ensemble, whatever. But that differs a little bit here.
So it seems like it's even a better system, right?
Well, not a better, because it can be bureaucratic. For example, right now, degrees matter a lot in this type of jobs in orchestra, because it's an academic position. So that's why they helped me, because they wanted me to have a better degree, to have a master's that now I have, because they can, when they show that their professors have a higher degree, they can get more money. It's a bureaucratic system, and actually in auditions, you have more points on because you have a doctorate, but not because you played better in the audition. They have several things that have to be taken in account, which is so sometimes that's different in many other places.
Do you feel like in the United States degree matter less in music?
I think it matters less actually in the States, unless it's a for something similar like a
teaching position, probably, right?
Yeah, teaching position in a public university in the States. That's where degrees matter the most. But other than that, I think they don't matter that much. It's just like you can get away with. Some people have very good jobs in orchestras, and they don't even have a bachelor's. So they just won the position. They just played well that day, and that's it. Mm-hmm. That was it. But it's different in those things. Concerning education, with the States, you have a preschool or elementary school for 6 years. Then you have what we call secundaria. Secondary is a 3-year program. It's something like middle school in America, and then we have 3 years what you call preparatoria, which will be like high school. But it's more or less it's very similar to the American system and maybe European system. Do you think it's like that or not?
Yeah, somewhat. Maybe age brackets vary a bit.
Yeah,
maybe.
But somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm. And then bachelor's and master's, same.
Bachelor, it's 4 years, and master's 2 years, and doctorate is from anywhere from 3 to 5 years or something like that.
Or longer if you need to, probably.
Yeah, or longer. Yeah.
Is it free, the education?
There is free and there is a private, especially for stuff like technology or also health. There's a lot of private institutions. Well, health not so much, but for technology, engineering, and all that stuff, there are a lot of private universities.
Because the competition is high, I get it, right?
Yeah. I think that's the reason.
Does anyone can afford education?
No. It's kind of elitist, because, for example, I think an advantage, for example, in the States is that once you're a citizen, you can take loans. But here in Mexico, to go to private schools like those. But here in Mexico, you can only, if you can afford it, you can go. Or, because even if you get some scholarships, they're still very expensive. Those universities, which are very elitist, and those elitist is in universities, for example, we have a very famous school here called ITAM for Economics and Administration. And all those graduates, they know at the school, they get together, and they are the ones that sometimes are like the mafia of the economic positions in the government and stuff like that. So they meet at school just like everywhere, and I mean, and they develop networks there, and but if you are from a lower tier of you just don't have access to those schools because you cannot. The government won't give you loans. It will be very hard. It's easier on the States, for somebody to, if they're good enough to go to an Ivy League school like Harvard or Yale or whatever, and get a loan, and with hard work and you
perseverance. I need to check on Russian rules. I don't know the laws on that. I also haven't heard much that people taking loans for education. I need to see if that is possible to do in Russia. It's, of course, very, very standard practice here in US. Well, guys, if you want to know more, I have much more questions for Carlos, especially regarding food, desserts, and healthcare systems. Please tune in for our next episode, and we'll see you again soon. Bye! Пока!